Grades can serve as incentives for student achievement, yet at the same time can shape a student's future. Grade point averagers, or GPAs, are often seen as instruments that can influence the type of future a student will have after graduation. For example, a student with a low GPA might be seen as a student who will work labor jobs, such as a mechanic, and students with high GPAs might go on and be professionals, such as accountants and college professionals. In today's society, grades have become the frontrunners to learning as more and more students only learn for the grade, and a lack of understanding of the curricula because they care more about the grade than the knowledge. There are a few programs developed by state and federal officials that are aiding in this grades for over knowledge idea. They include programs where students are paid for academic excellence.
Some schools are paying kids for their schoolwork and good grades. These programs and others were designed by an economics professor at Harvard University named Roland Fryer. And I want to know if these kinds of incentive programs are wise. Are they beneficial? And are there any detrimental effects in the molding of their upcoming adulthood? In the New York program called Spark, they're in the second year of awarding fourth through seventh graders cash for math and reading tests. A fourth grader can earn up to $250 a year, while a seventh grader can earn up to $500 a year. The Washington, D.C. program called Capital Gains gives middle school students cash rewards for performance in 5 areas: attendance, behavior, and 3 academic achievements like completing homework and earning high grades. The Paper Project in Chicago encourages 9th and 10th grade students in 25 high schools to earn better grades and pass their classes. Students that meet scholastic criteria receive their money as a check or a bank deposit, and the other half they're awarded after they graduate. While the average student earns $800 a year, prominent students can earn up to $2,000 a year. Participating banks receiving the deposits use the opportunity to teach kids how to manage their accounts, which I suppose that's beneficial.
School students to get good grades. Some educators are singing its praises, saying it is motivating students to study, but critics say it sets a bad precedent. Marvin Scott is live at the Frederick Douglass Academy in Harlem to explain this interesting cutting-edge program. Marvin.
Well, Connie, first of all, as would be expected, any new program certainly has its share of naysayers, but many educators say this one is worth giving a shot. The program, known as REACH, is aimed at increasing the number of low-income students, principally Black and Latinos, who attend and graduate college. The idea got a resounding cheer from students at the Frederick Douglass Academy, where the program was announced this morning. Made possible by a $1 million grant from the Pershing Square Foundation, minority students will be offered cash incentives to do well on advanced placement exams. The REACH program, as it's called, will reward $1,000 to students getting a top score of 5. A score of 4 will earn $750, and a 3 is worth $500. At present, less than 1% of black students in city schools pass the advanced placement exam, which allows them to earn college credits while still in high school.
We have got to eliminate the racial and ethnic achievement gap in America today, and you guys are going to play a big, big part in that. Now, this program, what it's going to do is just reward excellence, and I'm all for it.
Students at 25 public schools and 6 private schools will participate in the pilot program beginning this year. We asked students at one of those schools, Long Island High, how they feel about the offer of cash for grades.
AP really makes you buckle down and really study about it. And now that if they fund money, if you pass the test, I guess kids will be able to go home, study, instead of going outside having fun.
Obviously, I would probably do it just for the educational use, so I can use it for college.
School and grades should really be based on just effort, and it shouldn't be based on, okay, I'm just going to do this because of money.
Critics agree, saying the program sends the wrong message to kids. that they should learn because they want to, not because they're being offered cash. The school's chancellor, however, defends the program.
But the truth of the matter is, we have got to try new and different ways to create incentives to inspire our students.
Each of the 31 participating schools will also get a bonus. They'll receive $2,000 apiece. While this REACH program is being financed with private funds, the Department of Education is also launching a program whereby it will provide cash rewards for students, some students at least, in grades 4 and 7, simply for taking the standardized tests, and additional cash bonuses if they score high. No doubt going to hear a lot more about this program in the days ahead. We're live tonight in Harlem.
These programs only aid in the fact that students will learn not only for the grade now, but for the money. Like $1,000? You have to ask yourself, is money the correct way to increase motivation and success of our students? I don't think so. There are many different ways students can be motivated to succeed and obtain good grades and ultimately higher futures.
Students in school get good grades, but Dr. Jim Popham of Education Plus tells us research comparing student achievement finds that not all grades are created equal.
Although students who attend schools in poor areas frequently get good grades, their achievement levels are sometimes much lower than those of youngsters in wealthier schools. That isn't because the poor kids are less smart, it's simply because the quality of their schooling is less effective.
There's also the problem of grade inflation. Whereas a C grade used to be considered average, so many more Bs are given out today that a B is now considered average. Racy Cohn, mother of 9-year-old Gareth, agrees.
I don't think that a C grade today is considered to be an average grade. I think because of the lack of support of the community for education, children are just not being supported in their efforts.
Teachers may have very good reasons for giving the grades they do. The A students may be their top students, but don't assume they would be A students if they attended the school across town.
Students and their parents put a great deal of faith in the report card, but they need to go beyond report cards and ask some tough questions. They need to find out, for example, what's actually been learned and what hasn't.
Getting A's on report cards is nice, but giving students a misleading picture of how well they're doing is not. This is Education Plus.
Students regularly receive grades on assignments, papers, and exams that include how well they are doing. Student responses to such information have implications for their subsequent learning and achievement. Performance feedback results in changes in students' motivation for and engagement in future tasks. Generally, positive feedback boosts students' motivation, whereas negative feedback diminishes motivation. Although it's not surprising that motivation would decline when one receives negative feedback, this pattern is concerning. Losing confidence or even interest and avoiding challenging aspects of schooling when one does poorly undermines future learning and achievement. As you can see from the graph, students with a higher GPA are more likely to enter future fields with more achievement, such as higher job status. All students must contend with grades in the classroom. A real challenge for both students and educators is how to sustain motivation when students do not do well. By examining changes in students' motivation during the critical phase of processing grades is an important task in the classroom. When students focus on how they do compared to others, their motivation is vulnerable to negative changes when grades are given. In contrast, a focus on self-improvement and mastery is beneficial regardless of the level of feedback. As you have witnessed, there are many programs that aid in the process of students just learning for the grades, which is totally wrong. GPAs should be important when looking at applications for jobs, for college, but they're just a grade. We have to look beyond that and look to see what true potential people have. That's where I stand.